Yo, man, what's going on, y'all boys, man? You already know what time it is, man. We back again with another reaction. Yay! And today, we have another sad case of these guys must be stopped. If y'all read by the title, then you really already know what to expect, so I really don't have too much to say. But if you have not been in tune, then you need to know that this 17-year-old kid has 2 kids. Yes, a kid is having 2 kids. That I said a 17-year-old kid has 2 kids with a 30-year-old man. Yeah, I can ask me if this is right or if this is wrong. Because if she has 2 kids, then that means that she has been messing with this 30-year-old man while she was at least 15 years old. Because you got to go through the 9 months and you got to, like, your body got to, you know, everything got to just happen all over again to where you done have 2 kids. So we go figure out and just see. I mean, I haven't had a chance to watch this video yet. You know what I'm saying? I normally like to do my reactions real raw and uncut, but just by the title of this video that I'm looking at right now that y'all finna watch and react with me is just crazy. So I'm gonna need y'all to do this down below. Type down below, these men must be stopped. Let's get it. Let's go.
My daughter is 17 years old. She'll be 18 in March. She has 2 children.
Man.
I've been dealing with this situation with my daughter since April. I found out about him in April, and she told me that he was a little older than her. And I was like, how much older? She was talking to a gentleman. He was 20. She had just left Job Corps. He was 20. I really was like, but she was like, well, he's the baby of the family, and he was kind of childish. And she was like, and I said, okay, because I never put behind the fact that she is 17 years old, and she, you know, she is a young mother. She has had a lot on her plate. So I was not naive to those factors. Right. However, it went from me thinking it was one person to this being this grown man. Right. When I found out, I was going live one day and I was talking about it because I was trying to find out who he is. Right. You know, where is he from? What does he have going on? Who is this guy that's on my daughter's radar? So when I was trying to figure out who he was, I went live on Facebook. She came in there and she was, you know, we got into an altercation. We actually got into a physical altercation on Facebook. So, because I go live all the time. Okay. And it was all because of this guy, trying to find out who he was. So when I posted the picture, I wasn't looking for, because I'm not my daughter's Facebook friend. She makes several different pages, so I'm not her friend. That is a little kid compared. My brother's birthday, I knew it was either the first.
Look at this chat.
A really cool way.
I can't even.
For the second. So
my bad, but look at this chat. This literally looks like this can be his daughter. And I'm not even lying. And the got something doing her with trying to be fast too. You know, like, I want a daughter, but I'm going to make sure that my daughter, like, it starts at home. I personally feel like it starts at home. But the fact that this dude looking like that this is his daughter, like, I don't even know how you could be attracted to somebody that's this young. Like, no, like, no, that is crazy.
His birthday, I knew it was either the first or the second. So I got on Facebook to give my brother a birthday shout out, because I just had one. And when I went to his page, I seen friends and I seen her name. Now you're done. I said, look here. So I clicked on it. Right. And when I clicked on it, I seen the picture from Halloween. And the picture from Halloween was my grandbaby. Well, she was just here, so I saw her. Right. This was the day before. And I scrolled up, and the next picture I saw was this picture that I posted. I said, well, jackpot. Now I got something to stand on. So when I instantly saved it to my phone, posted it, made my post. I'm like, look, because I have a lot of friends here in Indy. A lot of people know me because, you know, just because of school, just because of what I do in the community. I've been in the newspaper here. I've been on the news here. I've been recognized for what I do for my people, for my community. Right. So I was just like, somebody gonna tell me who he is. My daughter is 17 years old. She'll be 18 in March. She has 2 children. I travel a lot. And we were living in Alabama. We had moved to Alabama. My grandmother had gotten sick, so we had come back home. We were only there for 7 months. I wanted to go back to Alabama because I have a nonprofit organization, and we were taking it down to Alabama to help out.
Before we hold on. Let's slow down a little bit. Let's slow down a little bit. Before we get to Alabama, I wanna find out about the type of relationship that you guys had.
My daughter can come to me and talk to me about anything, everything. And we don't have any bars or rules, or when it comes to talking, even if she can't say it to me, she can get it and write it down, and I'll respond by writing her back if that's what we had to do, whatever we have to do.
Right.
I've always had a relationship like that with all of my children.
Okay.
Anaya is my 3rd child.
Okay.
She's number 3 in line. She's my first girl, and she was my only girl. I had, in between the children, I had 4 years to have her as a girl by myself.
Right.
She's my rock. She's my sidekick. She's my dog. That's my baby.
Okay, right. So you said she also have 2 kids. She had a kid when she was 14 years old.
Yes.
Right.
Whoa. 14? Bro. 14? What? Nah, that's crazy. 14 years old, chat. I ain't gonna say I haven't never, because I did a few reactions to it, like some other people, but bro, 14 years old. Like, that is crazy. Y'all heard me. I said 16. I was just giving the benefit of the doubt. Like, it had to be back to back, because I know at 14 that couldn't have been happening. 14 though. Like, that stuff is scary, bro. Like, man.
How was that at that age? Was she being promiscuous? Was she not talking to you about sex? Did you not talk to her about the birds and the bees and how she should protect herself? What was that conversation like prior to she getting pregnant when she was 14 years old?
She knew about the birds and the bees. She knew about sex. She knew about good touch, bad touch, and I asked her periodically, because I do have a husband in the house.
Right.
And I asked her, has anybody touched you? Because I want to know. I don't care. I asked all of my children, has anybody touched you? Anybody did something to you? You let me know.
Right.
I don't care if it's me. If you think I'm acting funny, you tell somebody. If Granny acting funny, tell somebody. We talked about sex.
Right.
We talked about sex. We talked about all the things that you should and shouldn't do.
Right. So
my daughter, how she got pregnant.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
How she got pregnant at 14. She was going to local high school here. She loves to run. She was on the track team.
Right.
Well, she never not came home after school. She would catch the after school bus home like 2 or 3 days out of the week, and that was it. She'd go back to school, bam, that was it. We thought it started getting cold outside. We thought that she had the flu or she was sick or something, and her dad was still living at the time, and he had taken her. Coming to find out, she didn't want him to go to the doctor. I went with her the next day, back up there the next day, and that's when we found out she was pregnant. And I'm like, hello?
With who, though?
Who been in them cakes?
With who? I need to find the rest of this video. Y'all, if y'all can find the rest of this, I will honestly do. Oh, here go part 2. Here go part 2 right now. Let's go ahead and get it out of the way. Let's go ahead and get it out of the way. Yep.
Come on.
Let's go ahead and get it out of the way. We're going to get it out the way. Come on.
Let's look at you a bit.
Yeah.
You keep mentioning that you were broken. Things happened to you. What happened in your situation? What happened to you?
I was.
Yeah, RIP her father, man. I know that she said that her father had passed away, but RIP to her father.
Introduced to sexual abuse between the ages of 2 and 3.
What age?
And it
what age?
wasn't between 2 and 3. I remember like it was yesterday.
So you were sexually abused. You were sexually abused at the age of 3, between that time frame.
Yeah. And it wasn't like it was people that were strangers. It was by a family member, by a female family member.
Wow.
And that tore me. You know, once I was older to know that this is not right. My mother always taught me, don't let, you know, if a man touch you, if a man. But what Mama forgot to tell me, what if a woman? I was looking for a man to do something to me. I was looking for a man to hurt me. I wasn't looking for a woman to hurt me. I was hurt by a woman. So out of that, I was determined that I was not going to let that happen to my children. I was determined that I wasn't going to be a lesbian. I've been fighting demons of homosexuality for myself. You know, I was determined that I didn't want that label because in my time, in my household, you're not going to do that. It's the shunned up on. You know, my people are old school. You're not coming in there like that. So I was determined that I'm not going to be a lesbian. That was my mindset because that was what it was installed in me from my foundation. I looked up to my mother and my grandmother. I didn't want to disappoint them.
What happened to her father? What happened to her father, that fatherly figure there?
When I met her father, it was her father, and this is where
there's a little bit of communication audio. Oh my God. I don't know why it does that. Like every time I'm doing this and I pause it on Facebook, it replace the next video. But I think that she have an audio problem. So if y'all hear like buzzing in and out, it's not me. It's their end. So just letting y'all know that.
For me, her father's 13 years older than me, but I was grown when I met her father. And her father.
So hold up. Her father was almost the same age, if you calculated back, as this man. This 30-year-old man is to her, about 12, 13 years older.
Right. When I met her father, I was maybe like 22, 23 when I met her father, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
And he was like 12 or 13 years older than me. And he showed me some things. He showed me what a gentleman was. He was the first man to open the door for me. He was the first man to ask me where I wanted to go, and we went. My first trip with her father was to the mall, and I could have got whatever I wanted. I didn't even know what's about. So I bought a halter top, and I don't even wear a halter top because I had never had the experience. You know, I didn't know.
Right.
So, and then her father later on to find out he was married. After I got pregnant, I found out he was married.
Oh.
So that killed me. That crushed me. He was using me. And I being exactly where my baby is standing. I might not have been there, you know, with 2 children at 17, but it doesn't matter. I was 2 children at 20, 22, whatever. And I was broken. I cried for months. It was his mother, which was her grandmother, who comforted, consoled me, and took me to church because I was broken. I cried for days upon days upon days.
So we have a situation here where you're saying to us that you are broken. You came from that broken life as well. You were sexually molested from the age of 2 to 3 all the way up until probably 9 or 10 for a number of years. It happened to you. You were broken. And you think that quite possibly that it was part of that. Oh, no, I shouldn't say you think, but do you think that it was part of your brokenness got transferred over to your daughter? She's seeing the hurt and the pain that she went through. You dated you got pregnant for a man who was married at the time. He was 12 years older than you. She's seen all of that stuff. And she's seeing that this is what mommy's doing. I want to grow up to be like mommy, right?
Yes.
So
I'm her biggest fan.
Right. So she's seen all of that stuff. Evidently, that's quite possibly. Now, I'm not saying that it all happens all the time. Quite possibly that she would grow up and emanate what you did in your life.
Absolutely.
So what is so shocking then when you see that she got pregnant at 14 and now she's dating a 30-year-old man which is 12, 13 years older than her? How is that shocking to you?
How that's shocking to me, I don't approve of it. However, I know that I don't have too much say, but when you come and disrupt her from her children, when you take her off of the path that she was on, because my daughter was working, my daughter is not on welfare. My daughter, she graduated at 16 years old. She came home with her diploma on her daughter's second birthday. Yeah. My daughter has been holding a job, summer jobs, and she's been working since she was 13.
But what make you think he took her away? What make you think he took her away? Or she wanted that? That's what make you think that that's not what she wants?
I'm not, and quite possibly that could be what she wants.
Right.
But she didn't want that by herself. Sometimes, she wants to get away. Yes. Because here it is, I have other children in the home, and I'm still mama. I'm still going to be mama. I'm still going to tell you to get up and clean up your room. And at this point, she feels like she never said she's grown, but she feels like she's grown. She feels like she's a mother. Yeah. She told me, she said, Mama, I don't want you to, try to predict my children or how I raise my girls, so I step out of her way. But it's hard to do that when you have a woman and a little woman in the house raising little women.
Yes, because, Mommy, you can't push the genie back inside the bottle, right?
Yes.
And I think that is what is kind of conflicting here in a lot of people's mind. So here we have, as you said, a woman and a little woman. You have a baby, and your baby have babies. You can't tell her what to do at this point in time.
Right.
Although she's 17,
right.
She have kids, she went through labor, she went through all of that stuff. She's not a little kid anymore. She's a woman.
Yeah. I'm not even finna lie. Like, this is pretty, like, this is one of them situations to where it's like, wow, like is the man wrong for it, or is the kid like wanting it, if that makes sense? You know what I'm saying? Because I understood what he said on that when he was like, basically, you did the exact same thing, just like y'all dated at the exact same type of time difference. So growing up, she probably knew that that's exactly what she wanted. Looking up to her mother, like she like, okay, that's I want to be just like my mother, so I'm going to make sure I get a man that's older than me and that can do this. It's an X, Y, and Z. But the pregnant at 14, I don't agree with that. Not finna lie, I do not agree with that at all. And I personally feel like that she was moving just a little too fast when. Not a little, a lot of too fast when she graduated at 16, she felt like, okay, I'm an adult. You know what I'm saying? So I can make my own decisions and I can do whatever I want to do. I can have kids with whoever, whoever I want to, but I feel like that the mother is still looking at her kid as just a kid, which is technically she is a kid, but in her mind, she don't feel like she's a kid because she's accomplished so much stuff, just at her age, so she probably feel like she's 10 times older than she is, working at 16, graduating at 16. She feel like she really 18. When somebody turn 18, you really can't tell them who and who not to have kids with or who not to mess with, especially if this how you've been living your life just as a mother. Like you chose the same path, which is, of course, any parent don't want their kid to choose the same path. They want their kid to choose the more successful path if they're not as successful. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like I said, I feel like it was on both ends. I'm not talking about at 14. I definitely feel like that whoever that was at 14 who she had to care by was definitely preying on her. You know what I'm saying? But when she got older, I do feel like that was her choice. And I feel like that she's still with this man, that is both of their choice. And, I will feel like that both of them is somewhat, within their situation. When she get 20 and he gonna be 34, you know what I'm saying? 35, like, it's the older she get, it's not going to look as bad, but it is going to look as bad when the initial, like, when do you meet mommy? How did y'all meet? And what age? Like when they do the math, they're going to see like, well, my dad was 30 when he had a kid with a 16-year-old. Like, dang, mom, you was 16 when you had? Yeah, I was 16. But when she get 24, that's probably not going to be something that you think about because he going to be like 38? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, my BD 38 or something like that. But this is a very iffy situation. Like I said, I can't I don't agree with the 14-year-old stuff that they was talking about at first, but when she got older and later on decided to have a kid with this man, I feel like that it's their option to both to do whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I personally, as a parent, do not agree with the daughter. You know, if I was to be a parent, I wouldn't agree with the daughter. I would be looking at this grown man weird, like, why are you even attracted to this 16-year-old kid? I had a kid with this 16-year-old kid. Hopefully he didn't meet her at 14 and had a kid with her. You know what I'm saying? But for her to be 16, you had a kid with her, and you're 30, like, I would have to watch him around the kids that I have with him, if that makes sense. If I was a woman, if that makes sense, you know, because if you're looking at a 16-year-old at your age now, the older you get, that's not going to change. You're going to keep looking at 16-year-olds the same no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what you are attracted to, especially if you had it, this to go to the extent of having a kid by one. If you get what I'm saying. But I don't know. It's a pretty sticky situation, man. But if y'all enjoyed this reaction video, make sure that you smash the like button, comment, and subscribe for your boy, man. Remember, the more likes that this video get, the higher that it will rank. So let's go to this video to 1,000,000,000,000,000 likes. And please let me know your honest thoughts and opinions down below on this. Like, I don't even really know how to feel about it, because it's like, I told y'all how I felt about her at 14 having a kid. But later on in life, when you choose to have kids with, you know, whoever you have kids by, and especially if you trying to move how you want to move, then you just have to face them consequences, you know. But it's not so much just on her, but do you blame this grown man? How would you look at him if that was your cousin that you found out he had a kid with a 16-year-old, you know? But let me know down below your honest thoughts and opinions, man. If you enjoyed this reaction, like I said, smash the like button, comment, and subscribe for your boy, man. And I also did a reaction video similar to this. It's going to be on the screen right now. So if y'all want to go ahead and watch that, it's pretty similar. You'll most likely like it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, let's get it. Let's go. We out.